Stephon Clark was shot 8 times primarily in his back. Family ordered autopsy finds. Stephon Clark, the unarmed black man who was fatally shot last week by Sacramento police officers, was struck 8 times, mostly in his back, according to an independent autopsy released Friday, raising significant questions about the police account that he was a threat to officers when he was hit. The autopsy, commissioned by the family of Mr. Clark, 22, and conducted by Dr. Bennet Omalu, a private medical examiner, showed that he was shot 3 times in his lower back, twice near his right shoulder, once in his neck and once under an armpit. He was also shot in the leg. The neck wound was from the side, the doctor found, and he said that while the shot to the leg hit Mr. Clark in the front, it appeared to have been fired after he was already falling. He was shot from the back, Dr. Omalu said Friday at a news conference. Standing next to diagrams of the findings, he said that 7 of the shots could have had a fatal capacity. He described severe damage to Mr. Clark's body, including a shattered vertebrae, a collapsed lung and an arm broken into tiny bits. He bled massively, Dr. Omalu said. He said he believed the first bullet to hit Mr. Clark on his side caused him to turn, so he was facing away from the officers when they fired the barrage of bullets. The Sacramento police on Friday said they had not viewed the autopsy and declined to comment, saying it was inappropriate because the investigation was continuing. "We acknowledge the importance of this case to all in our community," the police said in a statement. Protesters in California's capital have taken to the streets nearly every day since Mr. Clark was killed on March 18, demanding that the city's leadership fire the 2 officers involved. Mr. Clark's family have accused the police department of trying to cover up misconduct by its officers and decided to conduct its own autopsy. Video showed officers shouting at Mr. Clark minutes after the shooting stopped. "We need to know if you're okay," an officer yelled about 3 minutes after the gunfire ended. "We need to get you medics, but we can't go over to get you help unless we know you don't have a weapon." Dr. Omalu said the autopsy suggested that Mr. Clark lived for 3 to 10 minutes after the shooting, adding to questions about the amount of time it took to get him treatment. Medical assistance did not arrive until about 6 minutes after the shooting. In its initial account, the police department said Mr. Clark had advanced toward the officers while holding what they believed to be a firearm. In body camera footage provided by the police, however, it is not clear which direction Mr. Clark is facing, and the family's lawyer, Benjamin Crump, said the independent autopsy contradicted the assertion by the police that he was a threat. Source: New York Times.